50 Cent tears up speaking about his mother after King Harris's disrespectful video. The studio lights were bright, but the mood was unexpectedly heavy. 50 Cent has built a career on toughness. From the streets of South Jamaica, Queens, to global stardom, his image has long been defined by resilience, sharp wit, and an unbreakable exterior. But during a recent appearance, that armor cracked, not because of business, not because of rivals, but because of something far more personal: his mother. The moment followed controversy sparked by a video from King Harris, the son of T.I. In the clip, King spoke recklessly, touching on themes of street credibility and hardship in a way that many felt disrespected the real trauma others had endured. Among those who took issue was 50 Cent, a man whose childhood was shaped by genuine loss. When 50 was just 8 years old, his mother, Sabrina Jackson, died in a mysterious fire. She was only 23. Her death forced him into a world no child should have to navigate alone. Raised by his grandmother, he learned early that life was not forgiving. So when King Harris's video seemed to trivialize struggle, presenting pain as performance, something shifted in 50. What began as a typical sharp-tongued response slowly became something else entirely. "They don't understand," he said quietly, his voice losing its usual edge. "They think it's cool. They think it's something to wear." For a long moment, he looked down. People often forget that behind 50 Cent's calculated confidence is Curtis Jackson, a son who never got to say goodbye to his mother. He has referenced her before in interviews and lyrics, but rarely with visible emotion. This time was different. The mention of her name alone seemed to pull him back decades, into memories he carries but seldom reveals. "I didn't get advice," he continued. "I didn't get warnings. I didn't get protection." The room was silent. In that instant, the conversation stopped being about internet drama and started becoming about generational disconnect. 50 wasn't attacking King Harris as much as he was challenging a mindset, one that confuses aesthetic struggle with lived pain. To 50, hardship is not a brand. It is not content. It is not something you simulate for views. It is the absence of a mother at school events. It is learning survival before adolescence. It is carrying grief into adulthood with no roadmap. The irony is that both men come from hip-hop legacies, but vastly different experiences. King Harris grew up the son of a superstar, surrounded by security, wealth, and influence. 50 Cent grew up navigating housing projects, danger, and profound personal loss. That contrast was unspoken but powerful. "I would trade all of this," 50 admitted at one point, gesturing vaguely: fame, money, empire, just to have had more time with her. It wasn't a dramatic breakdown. It wasn't theatrical. It was a controlled vulnerability, the kind that almost feels accidental. The kind that reminds people that even the toughest figures in entertainment are shaped by wounds. The internet, often quick to fuel conflict, reacted differently this time. Clips of the moment circulated widely, but instead of jokes or mockery, many responded with empathy. Fans shared their own stories of losing parents. Others reflected on how social media sometimes turns real trauma into trends. In hip-hop, authenticity has always mattered. The culture was born from real struggle, real voice, real pain. But as the industry evolved, so did its narratives. For veterans like 50 Cent, there's a protective instinct over what those narratives represent. The incident also sparked conversation about legacy, not just musical legacy, but moral and emotional legacy. What does it mean to inherit a platform? What responsibility comes with influence? And perhaps most importantly, how do younger artists honor the realities that shape the culture they step into? For 50, the answer seemed simple: respect the pain that came before you. He didn't scream. He didn't threaten. He didn't escalate. Instead, he reflected, and in doing so, revealed a part of himself that fans rarely see. By the end of the conversation, his composure returned. The familiar smirk flickered back. But the moment lingered. It was a reminder that behind the platinum records, behind the executive deals, behind the headlines, there is still a little boy who lost his mother too soon. And no amount of fame can silence that echo.